Hi, this is Professor Scott Norman in the Pittsburgh State University Automotive Lab, and this is another lesson on air conditioning. Today we're working on a 2003 Yukon with a rear AC unit that has an orifice tube system. The vehicle is fully warmed up, and you can take a look at the pressures. And the pressures are around, looks like maybe 24 PSI on the low side and under 150 on the high side. The shop temperature is 67 degrees with 29% humidity, and the vehicle is blowing about 39, 40 degree air out of the center dash. So we are doing a performance test right now. So the blower motor is on high, the AC is on full code, and it's on recirculation. The pressures are getting a little low right now because there's no heat load in the vehicle. I have the doors and the windows fully open, and every once in a while the pressures will drop down low enough where the AC will kick off. So if you're running into this condition where it was 80 degrees, 85 degrees last week, but now it's 41 degrees here in the spring, and if you want to put a little bit more actual heat load in the vehicle, you can do two things. You can take it off of recirc and put it on fresh air, and that will help raise up the pressures a little bit so the system's not cycling off and on. Or you could just turn on the rear AC unit. So let's try turning on the actual rear AC unit, and then and we'll see what happens. So here we go. Okay, so all I did was turn on the AC unit, the rear AC unit, to full high, and with the front and rear AC unit now on, that's going to give the AC system more of a heat load. That rear evaporator is absorbing more heat. It's actually raising the pressure of the suction line, and so we should be able to see that suction pressure looks like it went up to around 30. So it's nowhere near the 20 PSI mark, which will cause the AC to actually cycle off. It looks like our high side is a little bit above 150 now. So again, we gave it just a little bit of heat load, seeing that the rear AC unit is working. Now let's go ahead and turn off the rear AC unit so we can see what the effects are going to be with the high and the low side system. So the rear AC unit is now turned back off again, so now only the front system is working. The front AC system is an orifice tube system, but the rear AC system is a TXV system. And so you can see by looking at the gauge readings, the low side pressure is starting to drop back down again because the system is not absorbing as much heat. And so heat equals pressure, and so the more heat that's absorbed, the higher the actual pressure will be. So you can see the pressure on the low side is dropping down closer to 25, and then the high side is now dropping below 150. We can do the same thing by taking it off for recirculation and put it on fresh air. So let's try that and see what happens. So now the system is on fresh air and the hood is open. So the underneath temperature of the hood is maybe around 150 degrees. So it's taking that nice warm air that's under the hood and it's pulled into the cowl area under the fresh air. So put it on the fresh air, we'll do the same thing. It will give it an additional heat load. And so if the system is cycling off and on because there's just no heat load in the system, that's another way to be able to get your pressures up a little bit. So it stops cycling a little bit, and so we can slowly see the gauge readings creep back up again to around 30 PSI on the low side, around 150 on the high side. Next thing we're going to do is that we're going to shut the AC system off, and by shutting the AC system off, we're going to look at the system and see how fast this system equalizes, see if there's any type of restrictions in the system. So here we go, turning the AC system off. Okay, so turning off an orifice tube system, again, this has a front and rear AC system, so So the actual refrigerant has two paths to equalize through the front orifice tube and through the back TXV. The actual back TXV should have closed down. The front orifice tube, is staying at a fixed orifice rate, so that doesn't change. And on an orifice tube system, this should equalize fairly fast. If you listen very carefully, you can actually hear the hissing noise in the liquid line where the orifice tube is where the refrigerant is cycling. And sometimes it takes only, 30 seconds, maybe a minute at the most to equalize. And I'm looking at these pressures right now. I'm gonna turn around and see what they're at right now. But already they equalized to around 52, 52. So that was less than 1 minute. And we could go back and watch the videos, and we can see exactly what the equalization time is. But an orifice tube system, I would expect it to equalize that fast. This is a normal system. Everything is operating normally. If it was taking 5 minutes to equalize, we got a restriction somewhere in the system. I would be looking at the orifice tube as my first area as a restriction. Again, this is Professor Scott Norman. If you're wanting more videos on air conditioning, you could visit my Professor Pentane YouTube channel, and you can also follow me on the Facebook, Professor Pentane. Thank you very much. Until next time.